how these things go. The executives want someone who can sell the vision, not just someone who wrote the code. Ryan's tone was calm, almost comforting, like he was doing me a favor by explaining why the work I poured my soul into wasn't mine to showcase. I sat frozen in the conference room chair, heart pounding so loudly I could barely hear myself. But it's my project, I finally managed, my voice barely a whisper. Ryan smiled, that same smug, patronizing smile he always wore when he believed he was being generous. And I'll make sure the team gets full credit. You've done fantastic work, Anuka, but let me take care of the presentation. It's what I do best. My name is Anuka Sharma. I'm 31 years old and have worked as a software engineer at Advantech Solutions for 8 years. I'm good at what I do, so my performance reviews and the steady flood of complex problems thrown my way suggests, but ask the top brass at the company about me, and they'd probably struggle to put a face to my name. I'm not the loudest person in meetings. I don't interrupt, and I rarely fight for the spotlight. My parents raised me to believe that humility and hard work would be enough. Don't shout your success from the rooftops. My dad always said, let others sing your praises. That mindset worked fine in school, but in the corporate world, silence didn't brought invisibility. Still, I didn't hold resentment. Not really. I loved my work, building from nothing, solving problems, and creating something useful. It felt like magic. I wasn't looking for glory. I just wanted to create something remarkable. That's what kept me glued to my desk late at night, long after the others had left. Skipping Friday dinners or losing sleep didn't bother me. Not if I believed in the project. And this one, I had believed in it completely. 3 months ago, the company unveiled plans to revamp the client interface system. A huge project, something. The CTO, David Chun, dubbed everyone wanted a piece of it. Ryan and our team lead held a brainstorming session. By then, I'd already been working through my lunch breaks, sketching out concepts and diving into trends. So when it came time for me to present, I stood nervously, laptop clutched in my hands. My idea was bold but elegant, a smart application powered by AI, designed to personalize and streamline client interaction. As I spoke, the room grew quiet. People leaned in to see my mock-up. Even Ryan, who normally scrolled through his phone in meetings, was focused. This is interesting, he finally said, nodding slowly. Coming from him, that was basically a standing ovation. He assigned me to lead the development immediately. And for the first time in years, I felt like what I created might actually matter. The next few months were a blur. Late nights, caffeine, endless lines of code. I gave it everything. I debugged, designed, tested, polished. My desk looked like a war zone of sticky notes and empty snack wrappers, but I didn't care. This was my moment. Ryan would check in here and there with vague questions like, how's it going? Or need anything from me. I assumed he was just giving me the space to work. I didn't realize he was keeping distance so he could later shield himself when it came time to take the credit. When the project wrapped up, I had built something I was deeply proud of. The app wasn't just functional. It was elegant, intuitive. I even left a subtle signature in the Coda unique set of markers only I would recognize, a quiet stamp of ownership on what I'd built. 2 weeks before the internal demo, Ryan called a surprise meeting. I figured he wanted to go over final tweaks, but instead, he dropped a bomb. So he started glancing around. We're all set for next week's presentation. I'll be presenting on behalf of the team. I blinked, thinking I'd misheard. Wait, you're presenting? Of course, Ryan replied smoothly. That's my role as team lead. Don't worry, Anuka. The team will get proper recognition. But I faltered. I've been on this project for months. I know it inside out. Exactly. He interrupted. You've done brilliant work, and I can't thank you enough. But the execs aren't looking for technical detail. They want a narrative, big picture stuff. Trust me, it's better this way. The room stayed silent. I scanned the faces of my colleagues, hoping someone would speak up. No one met my eyes. Most hadn't been closely involved and clearly didn't want to stir anything. I wanted to argue, to demand what I'd earned, but the words wouldn't come. I just nodded stiffly and left the room, my stomach roiling with anger and helplessness. That night, I called Maya. She was picking wedding centerpieces, but dropped everything the moment she heard my shaking voice. What happened? She asked, sharp with concern. I told her, rushed, angry, breathless. He's stealing it? Everything. He's taking credit for my work? That slimy bastard, she muttered. You can't let him get away with this. What can I do? I asked, my voice cracking. He's the team lead. No one's going to believe me. She paused. Do you have proof? The question hung in the air, cutting through my panic. Slowly, an idea began to form. Ryan's internal presentation was just the beginning. I sat in the back of the crowded conference room, arms crossed, watching him bask in praise. Slide after slide mock-ups I had created flashed on screen. He narrated them smoothly. This app I designed, he said, gesturing grandly, is about revolutionizing client experience. Seamless, adaptive, intuitive. My chest tightened. He hadn't written a single line of code. His only contribution was approving the project. No one would ever know the truth unless I told them. But I didn't. I stayed seated, silent, watching the applause break out around him while I slipped out quietly. That night, I lay awake, turning over every possible scenario. What if I spoke up? What if Ryan turned it around and made me look like the villain? I thought about calling my parents, but I already knew what they'd say. Let it go. Beta. My mom would advise, keep working. Your time will come. My dad would agree. You don't want to make enemies. Stay patient. But I didn't want to wait. I wanted to fight. I just didn't know how. The next morning, Maya found me in the break room, arms folded, eyes sharp. So, she demanded, what's the plan? There isn't one. I sighed. What am I supposed to do, go to HR and accuse him? Without proof? They'll laugh me out of the building. You said you left a signature in the code, she reminded me. That's proof. It's your fingerprint. Sure, I said. But will anyone even care? Ryan's the golden boy. He's untouchable. Her tone soft. I know this is hard. But Anuka, you deserve better. You can't let him walk all over you. Her words clung to me all day. And that evening, I made my decision. I was going to fight back, but smartly. We met after work that week at a tiny cafe a few blocks from the office. Maya shoved her wedding planner aside as I slid into the booth. All right, she said, pulling out a notebook. Let's make a plan. I hesitated. The signature is my best shot, but it needs to be public. If it's just my word against his, then we go public, Maya said, eyes glinting. When's the next big presentation? The summit? I said slowly. He's demoing the app for investors, Maya smiled. Perfect. 4 weeks, we prepared in secret. Maya coached me, pushed me to rehearse, made me visualize the moment I would reveal my work. What if I fail? I whispered one night. What if it backfires? Then you keep going, she said simply. You have the truth. He doesn't. The stakes haunted me. Ryan wasn't just my manager. He had connections. If I failed, I wouldn't just lose my moment, I could lose my job. But I kept going, smiling politely, pretending nothing was wrong, while my insides twisted every time Ryan bragged about the summit. One afternoon, he stopped by my desk. Just wanted to say great work, Anuka. It's been a pleasure watching this come together. Thanks, I said, tight-lipped as he walked away. Maya leaned over. He's laying it on thick. Too thick, I muttered. It's like he knows something's coming. Let him sweat, she said. He earned it. The night before the summit, I barely slept. My laptop glowed with the embedded signature, my digital proof. For the first time in months, I felt something other than dread, hope, and I was ready.